Okay, so right now my room is pretty random. Nothing really matches. The floor or the area rug doesn't match the comforter doesn't match the walls, and the walls don't match the area rug. So it definitely needs a makeover. So I wanted my redesigned room to feel comfy and relaxing, but I also needed it to be a space where my friends and I could hang out. So to accomplish this, I want to paint my walls brown because it's a relaxing color, and the color scheme will also include blue, which is also a calming color. And then I've chosen furniture to lounge on, so that's where the social part is incorporated. And then last, I want a mirror wall, so it adds variety to the room. So moving on to the principles and elements of design is space. And space is the three-dimensional area that a designer works with. And different spaces can give a wide range of feelings. And I wanted my room to feel comfy and relaxing. So sometimes a room can feel too cramped. So I really keyed in on the spacing of the furniture. I evenly spaced things out to make sure that one part of the room didn't have too many things in it. But I also needed to make sure there was enough things in my room, because if there's not enough, then it feels lonely and too big. Next are lines, and the lines are the elements of design that have one dimension and one length. And lines can convey senses of movement and direction. And I have both horizontal and vertical lines in my room. The horizontal lines make my room look wider and give a feeling of rest, and they mainly come from my dresser and my bed. So those are the main horizontal lines, so I wanted to make sure they were opposite of each other on opposite sides of the walls. And vertical lines make a room look taller, and they give a sense of strength. So the vertical lines are created by the tall bookcases in my room. And the lines will together, the horizontal and vertical lines will make it feel peaceful but strong at the same time. Form is the shape of solid objects, and it fills the space. And form can also be two-dimensional or three-dimensional. The bed and dresser are examples of form in my room. They both have short, wide legs, so this shows that they're sturdy and they won't break. And there's also a saying that says form follows function. So the function of a bed is to sleep on. So there's a mattress on top, which is soft. And then the function of a dresser is to put clothes in. So that's why there's drawers. But then I also have a desk chair that fits the shape of your body. So it also follows form follows function. Next is texture. And texture is the surface of an object, and it adds interest to a room. The texture can influence the way that people feel. And so on the north side of my wall, or my room, I am going to have a mirror wall, so that whole wall will be covered with mirrors, kind of like a dance studio. So that will be an example of smooth texture, and smooth texture reflects light and makes the room look lighter. So then this texture also makes the room look more formal. Color exists in light itself, and it contains pigments that absorb light, and different colors can make you feel different moods. And I chose an accented neutral color scheme, which means there are neutral colors and then one bright color. And then the colors are brown, white, and blue. And both brown and blue are relaxing colors, so that'll accomplish the relaxing, comfy feeling that I want my room to be. And then darker colors make your room look smaller, so I chose a medium color brown instead of a darker brown. Proportion is the relationship of objects or parts of an object to another, and proportion is based on size and shape. And the most effective proportion is the 2 to 3 ratio. I have an example of the 2 to 3 ratio in my bedroom, and it's the relationship of the bookcases to the wall. And the bookcase will cover 2/3 of the wall, while you can only see 1/3 of the wall. So this proportion will be pleasing to the eye. Scale refers to the relationship of objects to the design as a whole. I mainly focused on the furniture that was placed in my room to accomplish the scale. So I chose a bed that wouldn't take up too much of the room, but I didn't want it to be too small. And then I also found a nightstand that would work well next to the bed. That way the nightstand wouldn't be too small for the bed, or the bed wouldn't be too big for it. And then scale is important because if things aren't to scale, then the room would just look awkward. Balance gives a feeling of rest or equilibrium, and balance occurs when the visual weight of an object is balanced on both sides of a center point. And there's asymmetrical balance and symmetrical balance, but I have examples of symmetrical balance in my room. So that's when the weight is evenly balanced on both sides of a central point. And the balance in my room is created by the bookcases, and the dresser is the center point of them, and then there'll be one bookcase on each side of the dresser, so that's where they'll both equally be balanced. And symmetrical balance also makes the room look formal. And then rhythm is created when combining lines, colors, forms, or textures. And rhythm is achieved by repetition, radiation, and gradation. And I've incorporated all three into my room. So my repetition occurs by the repeating mirrors on the wall. And there'll be different sections, but all together as a whole, it's going to cover the whole wall. And then radiation occurs when the fan blades radiate out of the center point, and the center point is the three lights on the fan. And last, gradation is created by the pillows on my bed. So I'll have the biggest pillows in the back and then the smallest pillows in the front. Emphasis is the element in the room that is the most important, and it makes an area stand out, so you could say it's like the focal point. And the emphasis in my room is the mirror wall. Like when you walk into the room, the door is on the south wall, and then the mirror wall is on the north, so it's kind of the first thing you see. And even if you don't see it first, your eye will be drawn to it because it's different than all three of the other walls. Unity is when all parts of the design are related by one idea. And the unity in my room is the colors. Everything is united by the color scheme of white, brown, and blue. So all my furniture is white. The desk, chair, walls, and bedspread are brown, and the draperies, lounge chairs, and the bedspread are blue. Variety is achieved by combining different styles and materials as long as they are compatible. So the variety in my room is the mirror wall. It's not in the color scheme, but you could say mirrors are like silver. Silver is kind of like white, and white's a neutral, and neutral goes with everything. So it does go together. And then the variety also adds interest and a nice effect to the room. Now looking at this board, I have my floor covering here. And I chose a Saxony floor covering. I wanted a soft covering in my room. And then I chose Saxony because I wanted it to be more formal than frisé, but less formal than plush. But I also chose it because plush shows vacuum marks better than Saxony does. And it's also a neutral color, so if you ever move, then it can match with anything. And then it's made out of nylon material because it's the most common, it's wear resistant, and it's color fast. For my window coverings, I chose draperies, and I have a casement window, but it opens out, so any window covering will work with it. And I chose the draperies because it's a heavier material, so it'll insulate from the heat and the cold. And they also come in many different colors, and on my board it shows green draperies, but in real life it would be blue. And they also come in lots of colors, so we could find a color that matches. And then I want the draperies to go all the way to the floor, so it creates a vertical line to make my room look taller. And then it's also going to be a two-way draw, so it kind of gives a symmetrical effect when they're opened. For my wall coverings, I'm going to paint 3 walls brown, so this brown right here, and then 1 wall covered in mirrors. And then for the brown paint, it'll match my bedspread, and it's going to be a semi-gloss paint because it has a medium finish, and then it's easier to clean than flat paint, like if anything gets spilled or something on it. And then the mirror wall will be on the north side, and it's just going to be constructed like a dance studio, like the mirrors in a dance studio. And then for the placement of my furniture, we can look at this floor plan here. I decided to put my bed along the east wall, so this way it wouldn't take up too much of my room. And I decided to put the dresser under the window and the bookcases on the sides of the dresser, so that way the bookcases are symmetrically balanced, but it also frames the bookcase and the windows at the same time. And then lastly, I decided to put my chairs on the south wall, so that way everything would have something on each wall, so it'd be balanced almost. And then there's accessories in my room, right here. And I have pillows, So there'll be different size pillows. So the biggest in the back and the smallest in the front, which is how I created my gradation. And then I have a wall organizer right here. On here, it's not really like in the color scheme, but like in real life it would be. And then I'll put it between my bed and my dresser. And my desk, so that way it's organized, because desks, we kind of organize stuff. And then last, I have a floor lamp that'll go between my 2 lounge chairs. My color scheme is an accented neutral color scheme. It's right here. And accented neutrals have neutral colors and one bright color. And the neutrals are the brown and the white, and then the bright color is the blue. And like I said before, everything kind of revolves around the color scheme. And I chose this color scheme because I think that neutrals are more relaxing, so it would bring that relaxing feel to my room. And then the blue is a social, kind of brings in the social part. Last, here are my sketches. They're not very good, but I wanted a view from all 4 sides of the room. So this one is from the north and the east wall, and this is the south and the west wall here. But I wanted to make sure that you could see all the furniture in these sketches, and also by coloring them, it'd be easier to picture in your mind. I put lots of thought into this project, and I wanted to make sure that everything worked together. So by using the elements and principles of design, I created a space that was not only comfy and relaxing, but also a place where I can entertain people. And that's it.